What's up, folks? How y'all doing? Infernal greetings to you all at this ungodly hour. I wanted to make a different kind of video rather than just continuing on with the fucking politics. It's that wonderful time of year again. That glorious month where all the conformist NPCs out there are going to be freaking out over us weirdos, heretics of society. They'll be coming out more and just showing off our taboos this month. So I figured Halloween's coming up and my macabre side has been growing exponentially stronger. So I figured let me just do this video now because the energy I have currently at the moment will not last until tomorrow morning. This video, I want to just talk about some spooky musings. Yeah, you heard me correctly, spooky musings. Getting into some weird shit that I usually don't talk about on this channel. For a long time, I've kind of always hesitated and was apprehensive about doing this, but I just don't give a fuck. I just want to have fun, and this is my idea of having fun. So let's set aside the politics, let's set aside all the fucking bullshit. Let's just have some fun with this whole thing. Every year it changes, and this is what I can't fucking stand about the consumerism of society, okay? I'm not sure what fucking nightmare I'm in. I'm not sure what world my consciousness just brought me to, but Christ on a stick, why am I seeing Christmas adverts? I go to fucking Pignon Canadien, Canadian Tire, today, and I see a tiny section of Halloween gear, Halloween decor, and they were not amazing decor, and all I see are just aisles of fucking Christmas decor. Okay, I know we used to joke, oh, July, Christmas in July type of shit, but what the fuck is this? Why am I subjugating the sheer horror of this jolliness when it's not the time, right? This is not now's the time for me to get my spook on, for me to reveal my taboos and to scare people. Life's no fun without a good scare, all right? This is the weirdos' time. We can't have a fucking month for ourselves. And it has to be destroyed. And having this fucking nightmare of seeing all this jolly old jingles and shit. I just can't do it. This is definitely the nightmare before Christmas. If there's one thing that I'll give Montreal credit for, and Quebec City, because it makes fucking sense to do so, would have to be some of these ghost tours that they do. And I remember on Halloween, maybe a couple of years ago, we went to Montreal twice. And one of those times was actually for Halloween. And we did it twice in Quebec City. Now, I'm not sure which one I enjoyed more. I kind of enjoyed the one on Halloween the second time. And it was just so fitting. It was perfect. The other time was the last time we went to Quebec City. Quebec City is older than Montreal. So there's more buildings out that obviously are still around that they haven't necessarily demolished. Especially in the touristy areas. You're definitely going to see a lot of these architectures basically preserved. And, for me, I've been saying this for a while, and I kind of told the BF tonight that I wanted to tentatively next year possibly go to Salem, Massachusetts for a few days, having Halloween included. all the weirdos just gather up and just have their own spooky macabre fun for the night. Because that's my scene basically. But even the ghost tours here in Montreal have been a lot of fucking fun, and I'm not sponsored by them. I've done this several times, and I just had a lot of fun. You know, you always hear about the French, but the one of the things I appreciate about the history, because you guys know I like American history over Canada, but I do have an appreciation when it has to do with like the craziest shit when it comes to you know, some of these myths and legends and folklores that are shrouded in a time, you know, the zeitgeist is captured at the time. So I really enjoyed those tours. So if you guys want to like come to Montreal or even Quebec City, I would highly suggest that you do go on those ghost tours, because they're a lot of fucking fun. I'm gonna have to do this. I've been wanting to do this also. Now I have a bit of a fucking excuse to kind of give like a bit of a book review. And if you guys are kind of interested in reading up some really fucked up shit, then I'm definitely going to highly recommend that you read this book. I actually found an ebook about this online. I don't know where I found it exactly, but I managed. I've been doing a lot of reading the last 3 years. You know, what were we supposed to do? I'm just gonna watch Netflix and chill and just while under house arrest? And no, I was doing a lot of reading. So one of the things I basically read this year, and I've been, as I stated, been meaning to kind of do like a book review on this, but now's a great opportunity to do so. There's a book that I didn't even know this was a thing, and I was even wondering, is there like a book out there that has to talk about some weird myths and legends about Montreal? And there is, actually. So this is where I kind of want to like, you know, touch a few points on this. I'm not really going to talk about the stories, because last time I read it, it was during the summer, and I don't remember everything that I had read. I'm in the process right now of still reading The Anatomy of Torture, and I just can't get myself to read through the entire thing, because not because it's a very emotionally taxing for me. It's just I don't have time, and this is a subject that I don't know very well. It's just a lot of stuff to digest, like a lot of fucking stuff. But anyways, the book that I read online, and I just love the fucking title, Macabre Montreal, Ghostly Tales, Ghastly Events, and Gruesome True Stories. And this is by Mark Leslie and Shania Krishnamzi, something like that. Published in 2018, 212 pages. Now, you got a lot of fascinating stories with this. And one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of these settings, and some of these places, people that have been to Montreal, who live here and have visited here, might have come across some of these settings more than once, maybe a couple times in your life. But one of the most interesting stories that I've noticed were actually, like, some of these haunted places are usually McGill University, Mount Royal Cemetery. I mean, is anyone shocked by that, really? Like, I got a lot of family members that are just hanging out over there. And all my family's over there up in Mount Royal. It's a fucking bitch to get there. But anyways, some of them are burned, some of them are in the fucking wall, some of them are in the ground. Who knows? I'm not. I might be cremated at some point and, you know, preserving my skull. Yeah, I'm not sure if my death wish will even come true, but whatever. Then you get Griffintown and also Old Montreal. There's so many stories in this, and I'm just going to break it down with the title of these stories. And when I would be done, I would write some initial thoughts on it. And these are some of the points I'm going to try to sell you guys on. But I really highly recommend you guys read this. If you're not able to actually go to these ghost tours, at least if you're in the mood to read something macabre, especially about Montreal, and if that shit fascinates you, then, I, again, highly recommend this fucking book. Okay, so the first story. I just love the fucking writing. Even the writing was so, with its dark quips, it's hilarious, okay? So Mary Gallagher and her missing head. This happened out in Griffintown. And my initial thoughts, as I was reading this, were the most Quebec story ever. The death of a prostitute celebrating Saint Jean out in Griffintown. It's not a Sleepy Hollow story, but you'll definitely appreciate the story. Okay, now this one. This one seems to be kind of underrated because when you think of Quebec, you don't think of slaves. But this was a story that kind of got me a bit surprised that we even touched a little bit of that human phenomenon, but I'm not surprised. You really think about it, right? It's called The Slave Who Burned a City, the trial of Marie-Joseph Angélique. This happened out in Old Montreal, and the three things that kind of sold me on this was freedom, slavery, fire, just a woman that wanted to be free, live on her own terms, out in a land that she's not native to. I think she was from Nigeria. I'm not quite sure, but she was definitely an African slave, right? I could be wrong. I don't remember. This was a while back that I read it. Now this one. Okay. Now this one. This is more of a recent thing that happened in the late 50s, early 60s. And I think a lot of people, I think this one is probably going to sell you guys in order to read up on it a little bit further. Unspeakable torture and mind control. Project MK Ultra. The Allen Memorial Institute at McGill University. McGill was a Freemason, and so was Canada's first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald. And John Molson was also a Freemason. So in terms of this book review, I mean, I had a lot of fun reading it. Some stories intrigued me more than others, but, fuck it. I figured let me just focus on these ones that I had just mentioned. I mean, I think there's a couple more. There was one story where apparently there was a dude that was getting hanged, and hangings were such a popular, I guess, bit of a pastime that I laugh. You'll see why I'm laughing, because they brought their kids to hangings. And here we are in 2023 getting upset at parents bringing their children to pride parades and drag time story hour. Not that I'm saying I approve such a thing. I just think it's, have times really changed? Now, what would a spooky video, or basically a video about spooky musings, be without a bit of a scary story? I had a bit of a weird spooky experience. I don't know if this was, if it happened or not, but I'll just say this because I was probably 13 or 14 years old, and even to this very day, I look back, it's I have no fucking clue what that was, and it still kind of gives me a bit of the spooks, because you really don't know what the fuck happened. Even to this day, I don't. So I was 14, and this was the last summer night before I was heading back to school the next day. And I remember that night, it was one of those nice, calm, comfortable summer nights where it wasn't very humid. It was just nice. So I had the window slightly open. And when I say slightly open, we're talking about the windows that have the little handle that turns. And my bed was facing the window full on. And my curtains were open. So I saw outside, even though it was dark, and I sleep in pitch black darkness. I still managed to see what was going on outside for the most part. Now, when I say I sleep in the pitch black dark, I sleep in the dark. Okay? Even when it's sunny outside, my blinds are still shut. And to this day, my mom's like, quoting the Bible, let there be light. And then she opens up my fucking blinds when I don't want her to. Even my BFs sometimes wonder, like, why are you brushing your teeth in the dark? It's like, well, I have natural lighting. I mean, I don't need the light on, right? So I have my quirks, right? So, I also, my bed, like the head of the bed actually was on the wall, the same side as the door. Now the door had a lock on it. So why do I have a lock on it? When your parents don't respect your privacy and you bitch about them barging in and eventually they cave in and they, put a lock on your fucking door when you requested it or demanded for it rather, I got my way basically. So I remember that night, I was sleeping in pitch black darkness and I had my door locked. Now, let's keep something in mind. I was like half awake, half asleep. And I don't know about you guys, but when you're like in that little in-between phase, you're just kind of like, I feel groggy and I'm a little slow in the head. Like, well, what's going on, right? Like, you have no fucking clue what's going on. Now, I don't know what the fuck happened. I remember, keep this in mind, guys. I thought I saw something move in the corner where I had previously mentioned where the window is because, I had a big room, but where the window was and the lever was, and I swear, I thought I saw that thing fucking move. Like, I saw it do like that, and I flipped out. I flipped the fuck out because I'm in a pitch black dark room, but I thought I saw that thing fucking move and my door's locked. So I'm alone with this thing in my room. I don't know what the hell's going on, and I ran out of there crapping my pants. I'm like 13, 14 years old, and I didn't know how to go back in there. I couldn't sleep. As I'm thinking about it, it's like, oh no, the wind probably did that. No, wait a minute. How would the wind do that? And it's like, but wait a minute. It was a calm night. There were no winds. How could it have turned if there's no winds? And it wasn't me because I'm lying down in my bed. Maybe I imagined it, or maybe something legit turned it. So I that really fucking stuck with me. So to this very day, my rationale is, I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what happened. Yeah, good times. Good times. So I think that'll be enough of this musings on spookiness for tonight. So I hope nothing's gonna be bumping in the night as I fall asleep. So enjoy, folks, and I'll see you in the comment section.